In 1946, the French army opened a tender for a new domestically sourced heavy tank. Two companies, AMX and Somua, stepped up. Since the engineers working on both sides got the same specifications and took their inspiration from the German King Tiger, their projects ended up similar to each other, though Somua bet on a heavier vehicle with better armor. Somua's engine-less prototype was demonstrated in 1951. With work completed in 1953. However, the AMX engineers were quicker off the jump. By that time, they had tested out not only the standard AMX 50 heavy tank, but also its version with a 120mm cannon. The army eventually went with a model that was ready to go. In War Thunder, on the other hand, specifications are more important than deadlines, which is why anyone who wants can try their hand at the Somua SM. Armament. The oscillating turret is equipped with an SA-47L 58 100mm cannon with a drum automatic loader carrying 8 rounds. Reloading takes just 4 seconds. With two shell types, high explosive and armor-piercing, with armor-piercing tip and ballistic cap, which can penetrate up to 270mm at 200 meters. It can take on all the 54s, M48s and other vehicles you are likely to face. The ammo capacity is 50 rounds. The secondary armament is a 7.5mm machine gun with 4,800 rounds in armor complement. Unfortunately, the optics are subpar for such a fantastic weapon, the 1X sights making it hard to direct fire at long range without an eagle eye. Layout. Regardless of its size, the tank isn't exactly spacious. Only the driver and gunner radio operator are comfortable in the front of the hull, with the middle taken up by armor racks and the rear by the engine compartment. The turret is packed with the commander, gunner, the loader, the outer loader and 5 more rounds in the front. Survivability. High, thanks to its 150mm armor on the upper glacis and the equivalent of 120mm of angled armor at the front of the turret. The tank is capable of withstanding shots from weapons up to 122mm in caliber. However, there are weak spots, in particular the lower part of the turret, where the armor ranges from 100mm to 160mm without any angling whatsoever. The 40mm of armor on the sides and rear are enough to fend off small caliber guns. At the top of the hull and turret, the armor is 20mm and 30mm thick, respectively. The tank overall boasts decent protection from the front, and it can be further improved by angling. We recommend using decorators to make aiming at the weaknesses under the turret harder. However, if someone gets around to your flank, au revoir! Mobility. Good for a heavy tank, needless to say. With a weight of 60 tons and a 1000 HP engine, the tank can quickly accelerate to 40 km per hour even off-road. Reversing is a different story, as the 5 km per hour speed means you need to have an escape route planned so you're not laboriously backing out of trouble. Another issue is the rotation speed. The Somua turns using a single track like many Soviet vehicles, making it fairly slow. If you want to turn around, give the tank enough gas to hit at least 5 km per hour before going into your turn. That will make it much faster. Use in battle. Despite its contradictory specifications, the Somua SM is at ease in battle. The most important thing to remember is to avoid showing your sides to the enemy. As far as everything else goes, the vehicle is comfortable no matter the distance to the target, though it prefers to fight at medium and long ranges, which maximize its armor profile. The hard-hitting main armament and outer loader facilitate an active and even aggressive role in combat that includes taking on multiple opponents opponents at once. Not only that, but many targets aren't aware of how fast the French tank fires, meaning that they are likely to break cover to return fire only to catch a second round, sooner than they were expecting. That same strength is sometimes enough to cover for your mistakes. If you misjudged the distance or failed to penetrate with your first shot, you only have to wait 4 seconds to try again. Just remember that loading the autoloader itself takes 22 seconds per shell, so make sure you're out of danger before firing that 8th round. Before, you need to have a backup plan in case of emergencies. Here is a tip. You can reload your drum at capture points. While you are there, shells are loaded right into the first order armor rack. That gets you ready for your next encounter with the enemy. Ultimately, the Somua SM is a well-balanced tank that's perfect for inexperienced players and pros alike. To learn more about it, check out the article on the War Thunder Wiki.